What is up, YouTube? It's Team Master bringing you guys a full game play of Madden and NFL 19. We are in regs right now. I'm pretty much done with MUT, but I just want to bring you guys this little video explaining what I'm doing. So I'm in the Oakland Raiders offense, and I'm still in the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Really, at this point of the year, I'm just trying a bunch of stuff out. You guys are going to see a formation that's actually really pretty unique. I doubt you've seen it before. It's going to be tight slot open. Now, I'm not sure if this is available in any other kind of playbook. The reason I like this is because the inside zone out of it is, it's crazy how good this inside zone is. I was playing a lab partner of mine, and he was running 3-3-5 normal, which is pretty good to stop pretty good to stop any kind of run if you man up your safeties and all this other stuff. And even he was struggling to stop it. And we were talking about it afterwards. It was just crazy. But right here, you see he's coming out nickel 2-4-5 double A gap. So the problem with double A gap is it's near impossible to shoot there's no gap available basically to shoot against inside zone. And that's one thing that I do know. If I go against somebody that's running mid blitz or whatever it may be, you can pretty much run an inside zone. You're going to get guaranteed yards off of it. Now, the only trick with running against this kind of defense is you got to lay off the turbo button. I know some of you guys out there that just love slamming down on that right trigger or R2 and shooting right through the open gap immediately. But when you're going against this kind of defense, you really got to lay off of it. Now, right here, I'm pretty sure he was in big nickel over G. It doesn't really seem like he knows how to shoot the gap out of inside zone out of this. As you see right there, he gets blocked, and we get nice little stick work, trying to stop and go. I was hoping he'd click on. This guy really didn't make too many click on plays. He mostly let the CPU do all the work for him. And that's probably my biggest pet peeve on this channel, guys. Do not let the CPU do the work for you. Everybody gets so angry when the computer isn't making plays. Well, sorry, not sorry, but you gotta click on and be able to do something and not just hope the CPU makes a play for you every single time. As he, right there, he's actually just, the only time he really clicks on is if he's going for a hit stick, but 9 times out of 10, this guy really just lets the CPU do that, which, if you guys are going to let the computer do all the work for you, you're really going to have a hard time. If I'm being completely honest, you're going to have a hard time competing at any sort of level. You really got to start making click-ons, and at this point of the year, who cares if you win or lose? You can see he's still in this double A gap, so we're pretty much going to run inside zone until he gets out of this defense. Right there, you notice what happened is he overcommit to the outside with his user special, which left that gap pretty much on just to the outside of the offensive line wide open. That's another big thing. If you guys are going to get off first off, get off the D line and start using. Don't ever overcommit. Trying to predict as to where he's going to go and look for the open gap that you need to fill. Now, right here, we're going to go with a play action because a lot of times I've been doing inside zone in the first drive. He actually bites on it just for a second. Tight end is going to be wide open right here. And unfortunately, we take a hit stick. Luckily, that was not a fumble. We got really lucky that was not a fumble. Perhaps what I was trying to do right there, if you guys are worried about getting hit stick fumble, the best thing, hold down LT, RT, and then X to give yourself up, or just fall down to the ground. For PS4, it's L2, R2, and square, and that'll just give yourself up. So right here, he's in, I'm pretty sure he just stays in big nickel the whole time. Real bad run stick on my part. If you guys notice and rewind it back just for a second, the right side B gap was wide open, and right here I'm pretty sure he might be in a cover 2 right here. He may be in a cover 3, like a baseline cover 3 or something of that effect, maybe even a cover 4, but no. It looks like it was maybe a cover 4 of some type. I'm not entirely sure. But 3rd and 9, we're going to go hurry up offense. I'm going to go to inside zone. So far, he has not shown me once that he can stop inside zone. So guess what? We go for it. He actually does a really good job blowing up in the backfield, but Tevin Coleman just says, get off me, and gets us the first down. Now, I've noticed Tevin Coleman seldom does that kind of stuff. It's always Devontae Freeman. So usually I probably should have gone for a hurry up and just subbed in Devontae Freeman, since he tends to fight for a lot more yards. Personally, I think the Falcons are probably the best. Well, it's between the Falcons and Chiefs and Patriots. Those are the best reg teams for Madden 19. The reason for Falcons is because you had Julio Jones you could high point to, and right there, Tevin Coleman just getting the outside with that speed, 91 or 93 speed, getting the outside and able to get a touchdown for our first drive. But yeah, Falcons probably the best, I would say, offensive team in the game. For Julio Jones, you can just high point. They've got speed on the field, as well as putting Tevin Coleman in at wide receiver for that extra speed. So Real important to get points on the first drive. Whether it's 3 points, whether it's a touchdown, you have to score on your first drive. You cannot be playing behind the entire game, especially when your opponent gets the ball in the second half. If you are behind the entire game as you try spinning, then you're going to struggle all game long. Now, I'm in 3-3-5 normal as well. I'm still getting used to it. Yes, it's the end of the year. I know everybody and their dog was running it. I've been running big nickel all year long. I figured might as well start trying 3-3-5. The reason for that is because linebackers next year are going to suck for users. They're going to be garbage. So this allows me to put a safety as he goes like a PA bubble screen or something of that sort. This allows me to sub in safeties at linebackers so I can get used to how they move and also just make it a habit of putting safeties in. And I've been talking to another friend of mine that I was able to get access to the beta. He said that there was no difference in the run game, whether it was a safety in the box or a linebacker in the box. Now, EA claims that there is going to be some sort of punishment, but from what he recognized, there was no sort of punishment. So, with that being said, nickel 3-3-5, nickel normal, maybe big nickel depending on how it plays. Those are probably going to be the meta again next year. So if you guys aren't using 3-3-5 or nickel normal, start using it. As right there, we get a big hitter fumble, a CPU fumble. Now, you guys may think that was a bailout. It kind of was. But he spun into it, or he just pretty much spun for no reason whatsoever. After this, I think this most recent patch, or one of these patches, I'll lose track. EA put into the game, if you spin into a hit stick, you are much more likely to fumble. And so I think that's what occurred right there, and we get the lucky, I guess you could probably say the lucky fumble. So right here again, he's still in this big nickel overg. This time he just did a man line press. It may be like a man blitz. Yeah, it's a man blitz right there. You notice whenever somebody brings down the safety and they're all man aligned and just pressed, 9 times out of 10 it's a man blitz and they're hopping onto the safety or one of the safeties, which are actually manned up with the running back, expecting you to block the running back to make a pass. Usually you can get away with a good comeback route, which is just going to torch any sort of man defense. Right here, hot dot. He bites down on that play action and just he commits to it 100%. So mixing in the run, this is football right here. Mixing in the run and play action sets up for big yards. As you see right there, we get almost a gain of 30s, maybe probably 25. I don't honestly know. But a pretty solid game from a play action because he's constantly expecting inside zone. So right here, this is a play I really haven't tried too much. Bench switch. I don't like it as much as a regular bench because the C routes this year, frankly, they suck. C routes this year are not good. Madden 16, they're pretty dang solid, especially we can force the cloud flat into man coverage a lot easier. This year, they're not so much. I wouldn't say they're too good. So you're not going to see me run bench switch too much. But right here, going back into double A gap, so you know, inside zone. Inside zone is going to just tear this up unless he hops onto safety and shoots the gap. But right there, he gets a lucky shed. You got to hold off that right trigger, so I'm going to go hurry up. I know he's not going to constantly get these lucky sheds. You got to shoot the gap to stop inside zone. You can't just rely on your D-line to get Bailey out for you. But right there, you notice a gain of 4 yards. Now we are on 1st and goal. This is probably the hardest place to score in the red zone. I will be honest. I do not really have a play for this close to the end zone. Right here, Tevin Coleman trying to fight for those extra yards. He gets us down to the 2-yard line. Honestly, I'm just wanting the clock to run out. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, if he gets ball in the second half, we've just got to get away with a score. I'm fine with my 3 points. So far, he really hasn't shown me much on offense. I don't really know what he's doing on offense. Kind of later into the game, I start figuring out that he's mostly just, I think he's doing coach suggestions or ask Matt or whatever it may be on the offense side of the ball. I think on defense, he's just calling random plays out of either double A gap, big nickel, or 4-3. I think he even calls that. He's just calling random plays at this point. So it's pretty easy to read his defense. Like right here, this is probably mid blitz. I'm pretty sure this is mid blitz the way that these DBs are all lined up, which it is. Again, he gets a little bit of a weird disengage, and then the safety's able to shoot the gap. But we're going to go into goal line right here, set all our audibles up. This is probably the most important thing for any goal line. If you're going goal line, the best ones to have are fullback dive, strong toss, halfback sting's okay if you flip it to the strong side. But your three big plays are QB sneak. If they don't come in goal line, it's going to be QB sneak every single time. If they do come on goal line, and you don't think they have their best goal line defense, run fullback dive. If they pinch everybody and just stack the box heavy like this, strong toss. Like he pinches his D-line right there, so automatically oddball to strong toss to get to the outside. I come out in QB sneak, since that's not one of my oddballs. Right here, we actually have Devontae Freeman at fullback, because originally I was thinking, okay, maybe I can go fullback dive. Instead, Tevin Coleman gets us into the end zone with the 93. I think it's 93 speed. You guys can let me know down below in the comments. But right there, so this is one thing. I don't know. I'm fine with it being in the game because it is our fault for not getting a perfect kick. It sucks when it's kind of the game just all of a sudden stutters just a little bit, which makes it impossible for you to get a perfect kick. But that's my fault. For you guys who are thinking that's a bail on his part, no, he got good timing on it, and I didn't get a perfect kick. So for the pro players that say that's a bailout, well, they kind of sound silly when they say that because it's their fault 100%. Just don't listen to them. It is their fault. So right here, he's going to be going into gun bunch. He's actually going to be looking for a corner route right there. That's a really solid play. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting that. Luckily, we get the click on user hit stick, not CPU hit stick user. So we get pretty fortunate. I'm not gonna lie, we get pretty fortunate right there. I don't know why he didn't go back to that, honestly. You could easily get that open if you streak your tight end. But right here, he's just going to simple verticals. We get lucky because if he would have had a little bit more time, he would have had that vertical on the sideline wide open. Unfortunately, I guess he just can't really handle this pressure I'm sitting at right here. And here's a big mistake a lot of people make. If you're going under center, don't expect to be able to pick up any sort of blitz. Right here, I'm sending 6 at him, and we just scream. Now, he had that little check down, that little hitch route wide open, but why he didn't take it is beyond me. The problem with going under center this year especially is it sucks for blocking. So we take a timeout because I want to get the ball back. I want to score one more time before the half is up. Got a little over a minute remaining. We're going to try to get a half decent return right here. We stop, we wait for our blocks to set up, and then we go down. And I was hoping I could get him on that one cut to the inside. But nonetheless, we get about almost a 15-20 yard return. So we're going back into gun tight slot open. Again, this money play that I actually have is going to be down below in the description. You guys can feel free to check it out. I don't think there's actually another YouTuber out there that has this money play. This play just toasts cover 3. Now, oftentimes you notice on the left side, that corner's backed up a few yards, and on the opposite side, he's pressed. So this may be like a cover 3 cloud or just a straight cover 3 of some variety. I'm not entirely sure what that was, to be honest. But unfortunately, Matt Ryan, sometimes he isn't the best QB. For the most part, he's all right. But he just completely misses that wide open post route for our tight end. He sells that thing. So right here, looks like he's in cover 4 for how far his cornerbacks are dropped back. And Devontae Freeman just doing Devontae Freeman things. Breaking a tackle, and instead of losing 5 yards, he gains he gains a yard instead. So, yeah, we got fortunate right there. I'll not lie. We're going into a play called Aggie. Now, I've never ran this play before. I don't really know too well if it's actually a half decent play. So yeah, we're gonna see it. It kind of runs like bends with the post route, but then you got the little spot route. I've tried to low point pass that to Julio Jones to get a better slide animation. If you guys are looking to get better possession catches, low point. Now you got to be careful because sometimes low points can get thrown behind the receiver and just completely missed, kind of like a high point pass. So you kind of learn when to use it. Oftentimes, if they're in stride for a good stride, I was hoping to actually put him in Kaufman right here. But often if they're a good stride, you can sometimes just fit that low point pass in there for a good animation, like almost like a baseball slide to second base with her feet first. But right here, he's going, I believe he's in an I formation. Yeah. No, he's in a pistol. So with Cam Newton, I don't honestly think this guy knows too much of what he's doing. But I was actually expecting like some sort of read option. But instead, he goes to a play action play right here. And it looked like a toss of some sort, but that was a good play action. He definitely caught me off guard right there. But you see the blitz is coming through screaming every single time. If you guys want this blitz I'm using, you just feel free to ask me down below in the comment section. If there's anything in particular you'd want me to break down a little bit more, maybe from this gameplay, or make a separate video, or something you guys struggle with, let me know. As you can see, we're just screaming right there. Now, he's not even trying to block it whatsoever. Takes a timeout, 7 seconds remaining. Honestly, he's not going to go anywhere. He goes into, I'm pretty sure this is gun quads or gun spread. I don't know what kind of spread formation this is called. Right there, looking for the corner out to the outside. I keep that in mind. If he goes back into that same formation, I might have to play the sticks, because what's happening, I don't fully understand how this is happening, but he's putting my cloud flat into man coverage. I don't know how, but yeah, so we'll keep that in mind if he ever decides to go back to it. He's going into Hail Mary formation. I came out nickel 3-3-5, expecting him to come in some sort of spread formation again, but no, he goes into Hail Mary. So we're going to play it smart. We're going to go into quarters 3 deep, and we're going to play prevent defense. I'm going to play the sticks on top of that so he can't get like some sort of funky one-play touchdown out of it. I even back everybody off, and you can see there's just nobody open. He tries to scramble to make a little more time. We send the guy in the closest zone to go after him, and that's going to end the half. Now, remember, he gets ball at half, and I was talking about how it is extremely important if your opponent gets ball at half, you can't be playing behind. If you're playing behind and you're struggling on defense, it's going to be a long game for you. You got to be able to be ahead. If you're struggling on defense, you're dominating on offense, always be ahead before second half. It's going to help you guys out a lot in the second part of the game. And pretty much at this point, I know this guy's going to be in coach suggestions. That's really all he's running right here. He's going, I'm pretty sure it's coach suggestions. I don't think he really has a scheme, but he's going to get back into single back bunch. Now, I was expecting that corner out to be ran again, and it looks like there's a post route out on the field instead. Now, you guys notice right here, there's no previous play on the screen. This option, as far as I'm aware of, it only works in regs. It doesn't work in MUT. So if you guys will also want to start getting better at the game, I strongly suggest taking off previous play and forcing you guys to actually learn adjustments, learning on the fly and how to adjust instead of just, oh, hey, he's running this play, I'm going to adjust based off of this, blah, blah, blah. Actually read the offense. Right there, we actually click on to, what's his name, the linebacker, and we just don't get the pick, but he bounces the ball off, and then a computer comes and saves the day for us. So get a little looky right there. Again, I was trying to click on and make a user play right here. So we're going to play action because we constantly run inside zone. I'm pretty sure he's expecting inside zone right here. He kind of bites down on it, but again, our tight end probably would have been wide open, but instead we're going to take the zig route to Sanu Senior for the little 5-yard, 6-yard, 7-yard gain. So we're staying in tight slot open this entire time because this inside zone is super good. It's a guaranteed 5 yards, I feel like. Even against, if you go against somebody that actually knows how to blow up inside zone on a big nickel, again, lucky shed. If you go against somebody that runs big nickel and knows how to stop it out of big nickel, then it might be a little different. I go to conservative right here because throughout this entire game, you guys may have noticed, his computer players are just hit sticking me every single time. So I'm pretty sure he has tackling on aggressive. So we go to conservative to kind of counteract that. Our running back on the little hitch or curl route, again, CPU hit stick. No user hit stick. Why this guy's just not wanting to click on, I don't know. I don't know. So we're pretty much just going to let the time drain. At this point, I know I've got the game in the bag. I'm not worried. Even if he scores a touchdown, I know I can easily drive back down the field and score again. I'm not really too concerned. So at this point, I'm thinking in my head, okay, GG, this guy is pretty much lost. Devontae Freeman, not really doing too well, not nearly as well as Tevin Coleman was doing. So I really just try to switch between those two, give Tevin Coleman a little bit of a break so he doesn't fumble for me. So just flipping it, make him just really honestly think, and then snap the ball right here, getting to the outside. Devontae Freeman trying to make one man miss. Actually, I think I just tried to go out of bounds. I tried to stay in bounds instead. But nonetheless, it's all about clock management at this point. The more time I can drain off the clock, the better. If you guys are going out of bounds at this point, it's going to stop the clock just for a second until you get to the line of scrimmage, in which case, yeah, it's just better to waste time. As you can see right there, another CPU hit stick. CPU hit stick again and again and again and again. I don't know why this guy is scared to click on or whatever it may be. Now, this may be a cover 3. It looks like a man blitz of some sort. No, it was some, I don't know what he did right there. But I wanted it to actually just fall down instead. But we're going to go for 2. We're going to go back into tight slot open, I believe. I'm pretty sure, no. No, we go into I-form slot. Yeah, I-form slot flex. We're going to do a little scum tactic, what I think is scum tactic. We're going to put our tight ends in at the wide receiver position just to get that better blocking. And you know what? We're going to be that bum, and we're going to run HB toss. So we're going to run it to the left side of the field. Everybody knows this play. Anytime they come out in this formation, it's always running it to the left side or wherever the 2 receivers or tight ends are for this example. He's in a 5-2 defense. We're going to just run it to the outside. Again, overcommits. He doesn't actually stay in his lane, and we walk him for a touch or for a 2-point conversion easily. Very easily. So here in kickoff, stop sky kicking it. There's no reason to be sky kicking it at this point of the year because more than likely it's not going to work the same in Madden NFL 20. So start learning different ways to kick it. Like, for example, I reviewed something serious, and there's a few others that do this as well. They try to kick the ball to the corner. Now, you really got to start paying attention to wind at this point in time of year if you guys really want to get off of sky kick and see what direction it's going. Going into deuce close, tight end angle. Pretty sure this guy is just thrown at that point. I was right there. That was my fault for not making the play. I was out of position to even get that play. So, good dot by him. Going back into gun bunt. So, I'm expecting a corner out. So, you know what? Put an outside quarter, put a hard flat out there to prevent that. And, well, he throws it right to the spy instead. So, KZ is taking it all the way back to the house. He's not going to be able to make up that speed. And, well, you know, we are gone. So, the score is now going to be 27-zip. And at this point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can just, like, dive into some different defenses. I don't know. At this point, the game is very much over. He has very much sealed his fate in this L. So we go for a fake field goal because I'm like, you know what? Might as well. We literally got nothing to lose at this point. So 3 seconds left in the third. Again, we're going to be trying to aim this ball for the corner. We've got the wind with us, so it's going to go even further. It might look like it's a sky kick for how far it goes, but it's just the wind that's helping carry that ball a little bit deeper. So start paying attention to the wind when you're going into kickoffs. If it's going against you, really try to make sure that you are going to contain the return. You can go kick off right and then kick it off to the left direction, which is just going to help it. It's going to help it tremendously. So going into cover 3 sky here, I honestly don't even know what I'm doing at this point. But right there, that hurts. Oh well. I know if I would have actually gone for a tackle and caused that pass interference, that ball was thrown behind him to begin with. And yeah, it was a missed throw to begin with. So right here, sticking in this 3-5, cover 3. I'm pretty sure it's cover 3 sky. Maybe not. Tampa 2. I don't even know at this point. But we're sending 6 again, and this guy still can't stop it. He throws it right at me, and our guy just swats the ball out of Greg Olson's hands. So playing really good defense. 2nd and 10, a little under 5 minutes remaining. And he's going into a pistol full house. And you really don't see this all too often. That was a funky play action, but there is nobody open whatsoever. The only person in that play, which I don't even think he noticed, is the guy in the flat. The little swing route to the outside was wide open, and he just didn't take it. You guys got to learn to take your flats this year. Madden 20 is going to be very punishing if you guys expect crossers and deep posts to get open. It's going to punish you every single time because of the insane pass rush. So learn to take your flats, learn to take your short routes. And then as the game progresses, perhaps you can look for some deeper balls as your opponent adjusts, maybe starts shading underneath. Taking away those shakedowns is going to give you an opportunity to take it over the top. So biggest takeaway from this game is probably start taking your checkdowns. Don't look for a deep pass every single time. Don't look for these zone beaters every single time. As he throws it right at me again, unfortunately we were just out of position to make the play on that ball. So good dot for him. He's playing with fire though. And he really seems like he cannot take any sort of pressure. So right here, he's going into a, gun trio spread. I don't honestly remember what it's called. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. But we're sending a lot of pressure right here again. And, yeah. Spin move next year, guys, also doesn't work. Juke move and stiff arm, depending on the player, are going to be the move, especially if you like Todd Gurley with that stiff arm. But spin, like your B, your friendly B button, sorry, it doesn't work at all next year. So stop spinning. Start actually learning some stick work. Spin move, hitting a button is not stick work. Like stop and go, deadly next year. Learn how to stop and go. Start using it. If you guys want me to teach you how to do a stop and go, I can do a video on that. It's really not too hard. It's just all about just letting go of everything and just, yeah, one cut, etc. I can do a video if you guys want. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys want me to do a video on the stop and go. That's going to be the way to get sticky next year, is stop and go, not spin move. Maybe a little juke involved here and there, but really it's all actual stick. So start getting good on that right here. We notice we really haven't had to pass the ball much at all. We've ran inside zone pretty much a majority of the game. So we're going to be going into bench right here. Actually, it looks like that PA, I don't know, it's not called PA rollout, but he bites down on the play action again. Tight end wide open. We're just going to follow the ground. I don't want to go out of bounds. I don't want to stop the clock. I just want the clock to keep rolling. There's no need to go out of bounds. Either A, force him to use a timeout, or B, keep running the ball. It's really that simple. So going back into inside zone, he actually starts blowing up the inside zone, or at least trying to. Pretty good right here. No, not in this particular situation. He kind of gets lucky again, but excuse me, my nose is just really stuffed up. But what ends up happening, he actually hops onto the, this is really something I've never seen before. He hops onto the slot cornerback, which is on the right side of the screen right now, and he actually starts chasing me from behind. Now, whether or not that's a good idea or not, I don't really know. I was actually looking for A. A's normally going to be wide open against a cover 3, but I just didn't pass lead it right. I'm sure we had that post route wide open. More like, I know we would have the drag. We would have had the drag open. We would have had that curl from the running back open. We would have had that post wide open. Pretty much, if you run a stock cut for 3 against me, everything's going to be wide open against this particular play bench. There's no stopping it in a cover 3. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. So, back to bench we go. We're going to look for whoever gets open on this play. Honestly, my first read is like corner out and seeing how it plays, but he takes away the corner out manually. So, guess what? We're going to take a little curl route to our running back, take it to the 2-minute warning. Later into the game, I start taking timeouts, and the reason for that is just because I just want to try stuff and I want to get different looks on defense, just see how other plays work. Because practice mode versus real game, it's not even potato, it's completely different. Don't rely on practice mode to expect it to play the same on the real game. It's really not that good. Find a lab partner. So, going back into the PA rollout, I don't honestly remember what this play is called. Calvin really going to be on a drag, a little bit of a delayed drag, so if he bails on the inside, we're going to have the drag wide open, which, look right there, like I predicted, drag wide open. He actually tried manually taking away that zig route or that post route. So on that little delayed drag route is a great way to force the user to stay in their zone. Otherwise, they're going to give it up. So we got chew clock on now. We're going to run inside zone. Notice right here, he's on that slot cornerback I was talking about earlier. He's actually able to shoot the gap through there. Now, unfortunately, he just completely missed and gave up the first down. So we've got 206 yards this entire game, but I think about 70% of it has come from our run game. So right here, just going to a simple bench, really nothing fancy whatsoever. Stop and go, Calvin really little stop and go to cut back to the inside. I take the timeout right here just because I want to try some other stuff. Again, we're still staying in gun tight slot open, but I'm hoping he can give us some different looks on defense. But 27-7, the game's pretty much done. There's no such thing as coming back from this kind of defeat. So right here, I'm actually going to streak my running back, looking for him to get between the 2 thirds, the middle third and the outside third, because he's actually in a cover 3 right here. You notice the safety drops to the flats, A is open, RB was wide open, super early. So that's something that I learned from this game, that I can get it wide open quickly, not late. So he sticks in the cover 3 this entire game pretty much. I mean, there's nothing out. So you can see right here, still going into bench. I'm going to look for Sunu Senior. I'm expecting him to shade underneath, which he just plays a stock cover 3 again. That post route might have been open if we pass it all the way to the outside. we're going to go for it here simply because why not? This is Madden. I don't really care too much. We're going to go back into it's PA, what is it? PA post. This is actually a play I really enjoy running out of any kind of gun bunch. It's a really simple play as well that can be all sorts of coverage. The only coverage you'll probably struggle against is a cover 4, especially if they have good DBs. For the fact that we're going against the Panthers, it's really actually quite honestly trash. But instead, actually, I'm surprised. I audible back to gun tight slot open, back into inside zone. I don't know why I didn't do that PA post play. It's actually not too bad. It's not as good as it was in Madden 16, and we get the lucky first down. Gets the lucky shed as well. So we're going back into PA post. I think this play is especially good in beating any kind of cover 3. The way that I set it up, it toasts cover 3, and it's actually a really hard play to defend unless you start spamming it, in which case they'll pick up on it. So if you guys want me to do a video on this, you can also feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. I'll show you guys how this beats cover 3. It's really, really simple. Right here, we're going to see if we can't beat cover 3 over the top, over the seam. X, probably if I would have streaked X instead, I'm pretty confident that was a cover 2 actually right there. If I would have streaked X and pass led him to the inside, I'm pretty sure I would have had him open for a touchdown. So that's the first time he actually has ever shown me a cover 2 all game. Maybe showed me once earlier in the game, but I just really never noticed him in a cover 2. It's always been cover 3 or a man blitz. Cover 3 man blitz, cover 3 man blitz. So this is a cover 4 here. Both the corners are dropped back about 10 yards off the line, or pretty close to it, about 8-9 yards. So this is, nope, never mind. It's now a cover 3. The safety drops into the flats. Maybe it's a man coverage as well. I don't have a clue what he's in right now. I'm pretty sure it's cover 3. So we're going to look for X, trying to split the inside and outside third. And, well, that's going to take care of the game. Julio Jones, I was trying to high point it. Got to get off the high point. I've stopped using high point because I'm going to start using actually these giants. So then I can't do high point because there's really nobody to high point to that has the height to go up and grab it like that. So that's going to take care of this video. If you want any more specific breakdown of this video, I can make a separate video on it. You guys just have to let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe something you want to improve on before Madden 20 comes out. Some tip videos I can drop for you guys. And as always, be sure you guys get in the lab if you learned something from this video. If you got a play you want to try out from this video, get into practice mode, get into some games, try it out. And until next time, this has been T-Meister. See ya.